2.
Ready?
Yep. Come on.
One more. Okay.
This is probably the first year I wake up full of anger. And when I get to that gym, that's my time to release it all. You know, I feel like I could run through a million fucking walls and break them all down.
Hey.
Come on.
One more. Okay. You ready to pull? You ready to pull? I'm about to pull 5. 8. I'm gonna start with it. I started with 4. I'm gonna start with 10. 5. Well, total. 10.
Fuck you, alright.
Alright. Deal. Yeah. Losing calves. Calves.
Let's go.
God, I'm just winded.
Okay.
Touch it or
Oh, touchy feet.
Good. 20. Good.
Calves now? Yep. Same machine?
I like it.
Okay. So, I went to wash some dishes, and there was a knife poking up, I guess, and I went in for it, and the knife went through my hand. So now, not now, but I had a nice hole in my hand.
What happened to the knife?
What?
What happened to the knife?
I mean, I left it in the sink.
You chuck that shit?
Nah, I ain't fucking with that knife no more.
You never again.
Nick 0, knife 1, bro.
I feel really good. Strength is still high. Food now is starting to dip a little bit. Cardio's up, not crazy, 30 minutes, 6 days a week. Body weight has not really budged. I float around 295, 297 periodically, so this is the heaviest still that I've been and the leanest I've been at this weight. So body composition's changing pretty hard, but body weight doesn't really want to budge. So Kyle's not too worried about it. I still feel pretty much really energized. I don't feel like my energy is taking a hit. Mentally, I'm still fine. Nothing has really changed with that dramatically. This is now the time for me, being 12 weeks out, the more it starts to dip, this is when my motivation will start to get really high. Because for me, when my body starts to change, that's when the confidence starts to come in, and I really will start to believe more and more in myself as time goes by. Now that I'm really starting to see that shine through now I'm starting to feel like what I used to feel like, and I think everything is going as planned. Kyle's happy, Jared's happy with the training, so everything's moving in the right direction. Whenever I see different changes in my body, that programs my mind to want to work harder and harder and harder to keep getting a difference every single day. So for most people, I would say motivation kind of dips as you get closer to a show. I'm the opposite. Mine will start to skyrocket, and I'm starting to get in that groove now. Nobody thought I was going to turn pro. I turned pro. Nobody thought I'd be a good pro. I ended up going to the Olympia, technically my first year as a pro. So I thrive when people doubt me and people don't think I can do something. Not that I do it to prove people wrong, but it feels really good to shut a lot of people up. But even when you do that, no one's really ever satisfied. So I just learned, as long as I'm improving, I'm happy. I thrive in anything, in my opinion. Once everything starts to click, whether it's a chaos environment, a calm environment, a chip, whatever you want to call it, once everything clicks the way I need it to click, I'm here. So nothing on the outside will ever distract me at that point. I mean, not that it's a good thing, but anything that has come into my life that was a distraction, when I'm in this type of mode, it gets the boot. I don't play that shit. To me, at this point, bodybuilding is no longer a hobby. I surpassed the hobby phase. This is a career. This is my job. This is how I make a living and how I make my money. And any distraction that I feel gets in the way of that, it's got to go.
If you fail this year, what's at stake here?
Everything.
What does that mean to you?
2023 was an injury, right? So I kind of got off the hook. It was a mishap. 2024, no excuse. Didn't get off the hook on that one. But because I missed 2 in a row, that shines through for a lot of people. I technically only bailed out of 1 show, but now because of that, it's like, oh, you missed 2, you bailed 2. And I know for a lot of people, and including myself, I look at this as the make or break year. I have to shine my best, and that was why Kyle actually didn't want me to do the Arnold. Not that he didn't think I could win. He's like, look, you could definitely win, be top 2, top 3. He's like, but you won't be the Nick everybody wants to see. And that's why he made me wait, you know, an extra 2-3 months to do the Pittsburgh. He's like, I feel like an extra 2 months of growing and resting, you're gonna put on the size that's needed again to perform the way you need to perform. But we also didn't think I would put on the size as quickly as I did in the short amount of time that it happened. But we still obviously stuck with the plan, which I'm grateful for, because obviously this is the first show they're doing in Pittsburgh, and it would be awesome when I'm announced as the first Pittsburgh winner. So I feel very confident that going back, you know, into the competitive nature for this show, this will be my best version. I never look at things that I've worked my ass off for as a waste of time. I spent many years and I accomplished a lot. I made a lot of great memories, made a lot of friends through this all, and I'll never look at it as a waste. What if it doesn't work? That doesn't cross my mind, because it has to. I'm only focused on one thing. One thing I am doing a little different this year is not taking it as serious as I used to, in the sense of, you know, stressing about not eating on time every second, every 2 hours, not getting into my own head. Like every day now, or mostly every day, I'll go out and hang out with somebody, whether it's Danilo or whoever. Like it's a distraction, and I've learned to surround myself with people that keep me at peace, and then I can have fun with and be myself with. And I think that has allowed this prep to go as smooth as it's going right now, because I'm not just sitting on the couch pondering in my own thoughts of scrolling through social media and looking at everybody. I know I don't want to look at my phone. So as serious as it is, and as I'm still taking it, I'm also not allowing the little shit affect me the way it used to. When I've had preps where I was too focused on the little things, I felt mentally that would backfire. And when I would have a prep, like in 2023, where I didn't really think about too much, it was just more of a go with the flow. I know I have to get the job done, but it was more an easy flow. I still believe to this day that would have been my best look. So I've learned to, like I said, you gotta take it serious as a job, but don't let it consume you. You know, after Pitt, I mean, we got some time before the Olympia, so we'll probably chill for a little while, relax, have some downtime, and I don't know how long that will be. That'll be on Kyle's decision, but then we just get right back into it. But I've learned to value a little bit of downtime now. I've learned to take advantage of it, because it is very helpful, especially in this sport. So it gets in my head, because obviously my plan was, you know, to do this Arnold after the Olympia. You know, that was the game plan originally. So to be at a show and have the thoughts of, I could have been in this one, it's a little, you know, upsetting to a degree, but I can't let that consume me, you know, because I have something greater to look forward to right now. You know, and obviously, you know, I do watch a little social media, and Pittsburgh is getting a little more hype anyway, so that makes me happy.
Have you talked to Martin at all?
Nah. I think Martin's a great bodybuilder. I think Martin has a tremendous physique. But in 12 weeks, it'll show again why he can't beat me. It'll never happen. I'm gonna meet him. I bring the freak factor that no one has. And that's what I brought back this year. And that'll demonstrate why no one stands in my league. I'm in a league of my own. And after I win Pittsburgh, it'll come down to me and Samson. And that'll be how that goes. My legs have grown drastically. My arms, I think, unfortunately, have still grown. My back has come back and then some. And as much as my chest is still a weak point, I think that has improved. So I think it went majority, I would say, to my legs, but a little, every body part got a little piece. When it comes down to the waist, it's all about how your digestion is. And if your digestion's on point and your stomach's the way it needs to be, it'll just get tighter on its own. When I obviously turned pro, won New York the first time, won the Arnold, got fifth at Olympia, I did become pretty egotistical. I did become a little bit of a shithead. So I got humbled, I'd say, pretty hard these past couple of years. And I've also learned that as quick as you got it, you can be quickly taken as fast. So winning the Olympia, I mean, I would go into the next Olympia as if I never won one. I would always consider myself an underdog. I honestly think even the world would. Even if I win, I'll still be an underdog because nobody will probably think I can repeat it. And that's all the motivation I need.
Who is Nick Walker with no bodybuilding, no status?
Nick Walker is just a nice, caring individual that just wants to help people and see everyone succeed. Nick Walker is probably a very scared, insecure, as my therapist would call it, a victor underneath it all. A victor, to explain more in depth, you're either the victor or the victim. As a child, through the traumas I went through, I was a victim. And it tore me apart, little by little each day. So I became the victor as I got older and played a character that everybody loved, that everybody could relate to, that everybody could look up to. And that was a way of coping with everything. And the reality is, you know, when things hit the fan, all the insecurities, all the scaredness comes out really fast. And I've experienced that very hard in 2023 and in 2024. So I've learned sometimes being the victor isn't always the best thing in the world. The best thing in the world that you can do is just be you and be who you are and let whoever likes you, whoever doesn't. I'm at the end of the day, I'm always going to be a very confident individual, but I think if people got to know why I am the way I am and understand that, honestly, through all the tough armor and all that muscle, I probably have the softest heart in the world. And when it gets torn to pieces, you do things to hide from it, so you don't have to be vulnerable. And through therapy, I became the most vulnerable I've ever been, and it's probably the scariest thing I've ever done. Vulnerability is the worst thing anybody could do, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who's going to judge you. You don't know who's going to laugh at you. You don't know who's going to smile at you. So when you take all that armor off and reveal who you really are, it's tough. It's hard. But you feel better for it because you don't have to hide anything anymore. Okay, so I'll start by answering a little bit, but I know, like, if I wake up having a bad day and I know my head's not in it and I'm not like feeling it, normally when I get into like a set mode that I'm not really motivated for, all the things that I think about that run through my head, I literally think and quote everybody that doubts me, everybody that questioned me, everybody that says I should retire, everybody that says I'll never come back the same, everyone that says everyone has surpassed me. And not only does it fire me up, but I'll get emotional. I'll start to cry because I don't like that shit at all. So if we ever film and y'all see me crying, just know it's one of those days. But that's what fuels me. And those are the things that I think about. Even when I was younger and I was molested and going through school, everyone thought I was gonna fail. No one thought I'd be successful because I didn't pay attention. I didn't graduate with an AB report card and shit like that. Those are things that I use to drive myself to be a freak. You know, it's like when you see Ronnie Coleman or Kai Green, do you think those motherfuckers are squatting 800 pounds with a smile on their face? They're happy? Fuck no. They got some demons. And they're unleashing that shit at every fucking moment. So every day in my head, it happens every day. I don't have a bad day every day, but I know if I'm like getting ready to do a set where I'm like, fuck, I'm tired, I just pull that inner shit out and I force everything out of me. That's why sometimes you might see me only do one set, because sometimes I feel that's all I need for how hard I just went. And I don't want to overdo it, but I will kill myself in that set until I know I can't move anymore. And that's basically, you know, what I think about for the most part. This is probably the first year I wake up full of anger. And when I get to that gym, that's my time to release it all. You know, I feel like I could run through a million fucking walls and break them all down. And with that power that's inside of me, that anger that fuels me and drives me, I won't be beat, period.
You almost feel invincible.
I am invincible.